family. I hope y'all having a wonderful day today. Have you been looking at any of the positive things that's on whatever you watch, y'all? Whether it's the television or your laptop or your cell phone, because now we actually can look at media on a variety of things, y'all. I've been watching all kind of things on my apps. I'm not paid by any of these apps, so I'm not going to be advertising them. But I tell you, it's interesting. As long as you have access to the internet, you have your choice of filling your brain cells with positive things as well as negative things. So I do my best to fill it up with as much positive information as possible. So I want to be having smiles on my face instead of going around dreaming of the apocalypse or post-apocalypse. Because I'm telling you, sometimes when I watch those things online, I see how people control people with what? Fear. The good people and the bad people, both programming you with fear. Sometimes they read Revelations. Sometimes they give you the boogeyman, conspiracy theory, somebody out to get you. And then sometimes they show you that the people that's out to get you is them. They give you a problem and then have nerve to be the answer to that problem. And what's worse, they make you pay for it. After they tell you that they'll pay for it or they'll make somebody else to pay for it, you're the one that ends up, after all, having to pay the cost for whatever problem they started. Ain't that something? I tell you. I even saw movies today about people who act like they're so connected to gods or a God, so spiritual, where they teach you that you have free will. But then they turn around and take your free will by kidnapping your children and telling them everything that they believe in from their culture is bad, being a heathen, being uncivilized. And you almost get lost in a movie because you don't know if they're talking about your African ancestors. Because I'm talking about me when I'm talking about how I think about what's on this information that I'm digesting, y'all. I'm like, I know this is supposed to be indigenous people in Canada being taken away from their families and put in these horrible church schools where the religious zealots over them beat the crap out of them and take their language from them, that they can't even keep their own names, y'all. No matter what their name is, they say, well, what's the English? What's your name mean in English? And they may not have an English meaning to it. And so they say, well, from now on, your name is such and such. And it make me have flashbacks from Roots when they said, what is your name? And the guy said, my name is Kunta Kinte. And they kept beating him until finally he said, Toby. And then everybody cries that's watching him change from his Kunta that he knew where he came from to the Toby who just accepted what the oppressor had done to him as a matter of survival. So I watched this indigenous movie, y'all, and I'm like, they did this worldwide to tell somebody that the culture that they had was bad because it wasn't the culture of their oppressors. And their culture, their language, their history, which had served them for generations and generations, suddenly had become all bad because somebody who had done awful things to you said so. The irony in it, y'all, the irony that the devilish people had nerve to tell you what you believed in was devilish when you was not the one hurting them and their family to make them believe what you believed. I remember one time one of my in-laws told me something, and I told her, you know what? Freedom of choice means just that, and that means everybody. It doesn't mean that everybody's choice has to be your choice. Because she thought that nobody's feelings mattered except hers. It's like a brainwashing technique that people get from when they can remember being taught something. And that's sad, y'all. Because when you think of free will, you think that you really have a choice. But if somebody is giving you one choice, and if you pick something else that's supposed to be the wrong one, then there's no choice at all. So what's democratic about that? No matter where you are in the world. So how is somebody trying to tell you one thing, but not giving you a choice in the matter? So anyway, y'all, I even saw the poor Japanese in the USA that was put on camps during World War II for no other reason than they were Japanese. Put in internment camps, y'all. And it didn't make any sense. It was just all prejudice and just a matter of making people think that the people making the money, the people supposed to have been running the country was doing something good by abusing the people that was in their own country because of their racism, prejudices, feelings of the other they was trying to push along, that they don't want them in the first place. So they figured a way to just get rid of them, the final solution of sorts, without doing a final solution of just terminating them all. Meaning freezing bank accounts and everything. It was just so sad, y'all. I remember when somebody became president, y'all, I ain't gonna say no names. Y'all can just fill in the blanks. I borrowed money, y'all, so I could build me a tiny house in the motherland, just in case they told all of the black people to get out of here because they was running on the ticket of make America white again, as that was my interpretation of what they were saying anyways. So I was trying to get ahead of the frozen assets game. I just never got into the get the ticket with an open date just in case your assets are frozen, that you could still catch a plane and leave before they go and lock you up in a camp or send you to a country that's not your choice. But it's just sad, y'all, because what people think of as a dream becomes a nightmare. Or you think of this is your reality and that you have rights, only to find out that the rights, like the Voting Rights Act, could be taken away by somebody going in and just deciding that you don't matter, that people like you don't matter. Not only a quote, chosen ones, meaning the 1% in power, can do whatever they want. And that's that. So what happens, y'all? I don't know. I'm not going to even say, because there ain't no freedom of speech, y'all. Even if you say something hypothetical, people can misinterpret things. And the folks that you call yourself sharing information with be the very first ones to want to snitch on you, which is sad. Because I heard on the news, y'all, some young lady talking to who she thought was her friends and comrades on a WhatsApp talk, said something, and they misinterpreted it. And she's in so much trouble for just thinking that she actually had freedom of speech. Sad. Very, very sad. But anyways, I just want to say, while I can, while I still have a way to say it, talking in parables to those who have ears to hear and the attention span to watch till the end. I say, if you've watched me this far, congratulations. Will you share this video to others that's like you? So we can think about what we can do to make real peace in this world, be it using permaculture as a way to peace. He who feeds you controls you. So I see growing seeds and growing trees worldwide to feed yourself is a way to change the world. Because he who feeds you controls you. I do not want a world of starving people just so the elites can control what you do and what you say. Because you don't even have food to eat unless you do everything they say. That'll be a sad day when we do whatever for food. I will work for food like those people used to be on the street corners with the signs in Galveston, and I don't even know what happened to those poor people. I don't know whatever happened to them. I never see them anymore. But they used to have the sign, "We'll work for food." I don't want that to be a worldwide reality, y'all. All of these so-called aid programs that they used to send as soft power abroad seemed like all they did was put the people out of business in the countries where they were sending us stuff. All the so-called donating clothes, even that, helped destroy the fabric industry in those countries, putting lots of the local factories out of business, or local people out of business that did all of this weaving of intricate, beautiful fabrics that they turned around and was buying secondhand clothes instead, which is nowhere near the quality of the local products. People not understanding that buying local is always better than imports from abroad that just mess with your economy. Economic hitmen are real, y'all. It's real. People changing governments and making you think it was your own idea, that you didn't like your government because the government was making you starve, not understanding that the other government was putting embargoes on your government to make you starve. That they was the problem more than your own government, that they was the problem because they didn't want your government to think as an independent government. It's like the bully big countries want to rule everything, like the jolly green giant or the unjolly green giant that wants to just take over every country in the world and have people working for food mostly if they don't have local farms anymore. And that's about it, y'all. And everybody else just won't be here until they bring in the robots. And that'll be there to do what the people used to do. So only the 1% will be left to enjoy the fruits of the robots. We can't let that happen, y'all. The people united can never be defeated. The prayers of the just, the Most High will hear. I know some people say peace ain't never been started by any prayers. And all I can say is, how do you know? How do you know? How can you prove that no one was praying when peace came? Or peace came because these people was praying for peace. And nothing is ever proven until it is. And that's what keeps me praying for peace. So I continue to ask for all the prayer warriors out there to pick up whatever holy book y'all got and read, and pray for peace in this world, y'all. Now, I don't think we have to wait to go to the next level of being to be in heaven. They say the kingdom of heaven is within you. And only you can bring the kingdom of heaven. That's within. So please, pray for peace in this world. I love you all. I love you all. And I do believe that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Bye.